Okay, so let's explain what we were just talking about. Sex and violence. A lot of people associate these two things with each other, okay? Or I could have said that different. These two things are correlated, okay? They shouldn't be correlated, but they are. And the reason why they're correlated is because of Satan. Because sex is supposed to be a loving act, okay? It's supposed to be a loving act between two people that love each other enough to unite in holy matrimony, okay? That's what it's supposed to be. A man and a woman. I have to stress that part too. Now I know that there are plenty of people that could just pretend to do that. You know? Like, you know, there are plenty of people that pretend that they have a normal marriage, but they're swingers. You know? There are plenty of people that pretend to satisfied with their watching porn, you know, watching porn and on their phone in the bathroom, jerking off, or maybe using a vibrator or whatever the fuck, you know. There are all kinds of people that lie, and I have friends that are married with kids and they're swingers. They're in an open marriage. And then I have gay friends that are gay married. There are all kinds of people making bad decisions. I mean, technically, you know, these are my personal beliefs. But, you know, if people get remarried, it's like cheating, right? I mean, I don't know if the Orthodox... No, the Orthodox is fine with divorce, which is wrong. Yeah, that's the one thing I disagree with them on. That and, like, contraceptives. I'm, like, way more Catholic about that. But, anyway. The fact that people would require contraceptives... They can't just figure out when they're the most fertile and then not engage in sexual behavior on those days. That's too hard. That's way too hard. So they take pills every day so they can be totally apathetic. And sometimes those pills don't work and the bitch still gets pregnant. But anyway, the fact that we associate sex with contraception, like, I mean, think about that. Like, really, really think about that. It's fucked up. It's really, really fucked up. So, every time we have sex, we don't have to worry about having a baby because we take this little pill that kills that. So, it's like, we're not getting married for the right reason. We're not having sex for the right reason. Like, we're not in relationships for the right reason. It just seems like if you're not with somebody, like, specifically to procreate, it just seems like a waste of time. And I'm saying this as an outsider, and I'm saying this as a person that has been in, like, monogamous relationships, and I had sex with him, and maybe at one point it was decent sex, but then I just pushed him away and wanted nothing to do with him. And I know that, like, that's my own personal thing. Like, I'm not going to blame the world and I'm not going to blame men, as easy as that would be. And I'm not going to blame him. I'll blame me. But I think it's just the way that I'm wired, though. So it's nobody's fault. It's just like, okay, I'm not really interested in that, you know? But I think that my general view of sex in relation to America, in relation to contraception, in relation to abortion, in relation to the fact that Law and Order Special Victims Unit is like the most popular like crime drama. I mean, one of the most popular, rather. And I mean, it's a good show. I'm not going to deny that. Okay, back when it wasn't too political, it was a decent show. But just the fact that we, as Americans, watch rape, like we watch a show about rape and, you know, murder and like crimes and like all that. It's like we're entertained by that. We're entertained by bad people. But at least on the show, there's some kind of justice. There's way more justice on TV than there is in our judicial system, okay? Because the Constitution of the United States of America is just like a piece of paper, you know? It's like, it's a prop. It's a prop that makes people think that this country is different. But for the most part, it's really not. We can shoot a gun, though. And we can bitch about the police, but nothing changes. Probably because it's all controlled. Why would we expect anything positive to ever happen? I don't like that, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be amazing because we're doing it on the spot. I actually don't like this sound though. I really don't. Play it lower. I know that I'm off-putting to most people. I can't expect them to understand or agree with me and accept anything. Even if I don't pose a threat, just a simple opinion that they had yet to hear spoken so confidently. They belittle me, and I don't even do that. And I'm the one that's right. Damn it. If I don't put you down and you don't even know what you're talking about, then obviously I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. And you see, here, I'm illustrating why it's good to blame yourself. Because whenever other people hate on you for reasons like politics and religion, then you know it's not you, 'cause you've done the work on you. Most people don't. So whenever they try to blame me, since I love taking blame, I know when and where and precisely how I'm not to blame. So that's the point of working on yourself, by the way. Then you can do what I do really hated by most people. That's how you know you're right. That's how you know you're right. And they accuse you of stuff that you never did. They think a lot of stuff that you never said, but what you said was enough to make them think other stuff, you know? Sometimes it does make me sad. And yeah, you know that I get mad. But at the end of all of it, I take respite in the fact that I'm not like them, and I have discernment. But it's not a superiority complex. I just want to help them, I just want to save them. So it makes me sad, sad, sad that I can't. And when I was your age, I was pretty stupid. When I was your age, I made mistake after mistake, and I justified it the whole time with my dad. It's terrible. Wham. And my dad is still kind of sort of an asshole, but I forgive him for that. It's not him. It's not him. It's always me. I don't want to be a victim. A lot of women want to be a victim, so they make themselves a victim, mainly of the pharmaceutical companies and the Democrat Party. But I really don't want to make it about politics, 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 politics. But it is. It kind of is. But it's also women and just psychosis. They don't know when they're being reckless, reckless, reckless. And they think that they're owed something. You gotta get it, girlfriend. If you were really a power feminist or whatever the fuck you think that is, you would do more, you would do more, you wouldn't just talk, 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 talk. Without walk, 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 walk. Yeah, most women make me sick. But a lot of men make me sick cause they think with their dick, and if you can't control that, what use are you? It's true. Why would you think that anything in our society would be worth salvaging? Nobody teaches anything because they don't want to know anything. You pay for this society with your negligence, with your negligence, with your apathy. With your apathy. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Most women don't have, like, a bona fide relationship with the male counterpart that lives inside of their head. But that's what makes me so cool. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of other things, but not that. I'm not ashamed of what makes me weird. I'm not ashamed of what I can't control. But the
things that I did to myself and I did to everybody else. And I'm not just talking about my boyfriend. I'm not just talking about my parents. Or I'm not just talking about that friend that I talk shit about. And then she confronted me and it helped me figure shit out. And I became a better person that day. I learned pretty quick, I'll say. Cause I've never talked shit about somebody behind their back without being willing to say it to their face. And who can say that? Raging is good. It is! Ooh. Just that black key, man. That one. That one. Maybe this one too. I'm getting too excited. Sorry. Can you tell? Can you tell by the way I'm aggressively playing the keys? Let's see. Oh, it's 7:12. Look at Paisley. Look at her. Look at her. I mean, I know that you've seen her in like the real time. She's literally like inside the house. Like, I'll have to show you this picture on my phone. But that lets you know where we are. A lot of people have pictures of their kids on their phone or their hubby. But I have pictures of my cat because I want people to know that if there's anything to really, really take pride in, it's dying alone. Okay? Why are people afraid of that? Everything is going to happen the way that it happens. You know? Like, even if you have a person that's with you that you're really in love with and, like, you guys are happy together and everything, that's awesome. And I'm sure they'll be with you on your dying day, you know? They'll be next to you, at your side. They'll send you off, okay? But you won't be aware of that because you'll be dying, okay? So, it's just kind of stupid that people, they make such a point to talk about that, like it's a threat, you know? It's like the whole afterlife thing, too. So it's like you're either going to burn in hell or you're going to die alone, because they both involve death. What they need to say is, like, you should work on yourself. And if you work on yourself, then you'll be alive. You know, preferably in Christ, okay? So when you work on yourself, you'll be alive in Christ, and then you'll attract another person that's doing it. Hopefully. If that's what's supposed to happen, if God wants that to happen, that will happen, okay? And that person will just come into your life, and then you can be happy with them, and you'll be a good partner to them. And you won't just be, like, randomly getting married to somebody because you're so worried that you're going to die alone. Because you can't die alone when you're with Christ, because you're not dying, okay? And also, you're never alone because you have God inside of you all the time. He's literally there with you everywhere you go. So all these people that say that are either not Christians or they're just liars, okay? Like, they're just sacks of shit that just want to fearmonger. And it's, yeah, just like these people that talk endlessly about hell. And if you don't join this religion or you don't stop being a queer, you're going to burn in hell. You don't have to stop being a queer. You just have to stop acting like a queer. But still, that's totally up to God, whether he sends you to hell. So, you know, I don't want to encourage anything, but I'm just saying, like, it's better to be alone. This is my advice to, like, everybody. And no, I don't typically shell out advice, but since I'm on the subject of dying alone, once again in air quotes, because everybody dies alone, but reason I talk about these things is because, yeah, people like to really pressure everybody to be in like a certain period in their life, you know, and if they're not, then they're failing, you know, and that's just wrong. And it's not helpful, okay? And the same thing with like the hellfire and damnation. Like, that's really not gonna make people stop being gay, and it's not gonna like stop women from having another abortion. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you're saying that because you're angry because of the way that people live and the way that this world is because of that. And because, yeah, it's totally accepted to be degenerate in all these different ways. And like, yeah, I've lost count of how many ways this country has become degenerate. Okay, I've lost count. I was thinking about doing a tally. I was thinking about doing another whiteboard where I just label all the problems in America. I did that a few years ago. Actually, like, right before COVID. It was like at the very end of the year 2019. And, yeah, I did this whole whiteboard of like all the problems in America. I should watch that video again. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it again because I'm sure I could add quite a few things to that list. But yeah, anyway, the advice, just a suggestion. If your goal is to procreate, if your goal is to meet somebody, you need to work on yourself first. And that will attract somebody good. And because you're working on yourself, if somebody bad is attracted to you, which is often, that happens to me all the time because I'm an empath, so we naturally either excite narcissists or totally repel them. I wish it was always the latter, but unfortunately a lot of them are really attracted to me. But yeah, you'll realize like what they are real quick if you work on yourself, and you won't, hopefully, you won't get, you know, taken advantage of. So, you know, it's like whether you get taken advantage of because of some malicious, manipulative female that's exploiting your weaknesses, or you get taken advantage of by, you know, a Ponzi scheme or something, you know, like Andrew Tate style. You know, it sucks, but hopefully that won't happen to you because you'll have discernment. You know? And there's a lot of shit that I did wrong because I didn't have discernment. And so it's like I was receiving a lot of different messages, and the devil was cleverly disguising himself as God. You know, that's what he does. So, like Eve, I fell for it. And luckily it didn't ruin the world. I mean, maybe I did, I just don't know it. But I'm pretty sure that I have, like, boatloads of self-awareness. I feel like I could win an award for that. If there was such an award to win here in this stupid-ass country. But, ooh, no, I need to wash my hat. But yeah, there's this chick at work that she's calling me a woman hater because I don't agree with women having rights. Remember when I told y'all about that video? Or that there was a video that I did about it. I told y'all about getting into an argument with a bunch of women I worked with over women's rights. It's funny, the chick that should have gotten the most offended didn't get offended at all. I mean, well, she did at first, but then when I explained it to her, she totally understood, and she agreed with me. So she has self-awareness, and she's willing to work on herself. And she's a funny person. I really enjoy working with her. I've told you all about her. Her name's Lexi. She's just an amazing person. She's a really good person. But she gets accused of having an attitude quite a bit, because she's just real. And that's why we get along, because that's also why we used to beef. We used to really beef. But... yeah, she's a manager. So, if anything, like, she should have been the one getting upset that I said that women shouldn't have authority positions, you know? But it was just like the younger girls. And she's a little bit older than them. But it was like, the 17, 18-year-olds. Black girls, too. Black girls that believe in birth control. Isn't that kind of funny? I was like, should I bring up Planned Parenthood? Should I bring up racism? Like, why should, like, the crazy white bitch know more than black women on, like, plans made to kill off the black community? Like, I just feel like I know way more about, not just blacks, but, like, it's always been really apparent to me that there are a lot of efforts made from multiple angles towards everybody to destroy us, or just, basically encourage us to destroy ourselves in different ways. It's just the black race. And if I say it, it's going to sound racist, but it's just a fact that the government is exploiting what makes them degenerate, okay? So the fact that they fuck a lot, okay? That's why Planned Parenthood exists. And what else? Oh yeah, rap music. How could we forget rap music? Black people have been involved in a lot of different musical genres, but this is the one that most of them listen to, okay? And it's totally fucking terrible for the most part. I mean, look behind me, okay? This is, I just took a picture of him. This is one of my heroes from childhood, actually. That's Tupac Shakur. And that's my cat inside. But yeah, he was really smart. Which is why they killed him, or pretended to kill him, So he told a lot of truth. But he was also, like, a thug. So there was that stereotype, and he talked about that stereotype. And I wouldn't be a diehard fan of his if, I really hated black people. I wouldn't be concerned that they're killing themselves and killing their friends and killing their family members. And, that's something you're not allowed to talk about that, because it makes it sound like, oh, well, you're stereotyping, and why aren't y'all talking about it? I know that they do. I know that they do. Like, I was told, like, no, we don't talk about it in front of y'all because we know that y'all will, like, hate on us for it. And I'm like, you're right. But that's the thing, like, how many ways are you going to, like, self-destruct? I know that, like, a bunch of them, like, don't believe in any of that stuff. A bunch of them are, like, totally outspoken against, like, Planned Parenthood, But I don't like to cite Candace Owens because I think that she's working for people. And, anybody involved with, the Jew media, I mean, she's still involved. Like, I don't know why people think that she's not involved anymore. Like, it's just silly that we think that there are people working for us. Like, just because you say some true shit doesn't mean that you're working for anybody other than yourself and, the obvious ones that run everything, okay? So everything's a show, you guys. Remember that. Everything's a show here in America. The most TV-addicted country in the world, okay? So, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, now that I've said racist shit and sexist shit and misogynistic shit, I think I can go, right? I can go. But seriously, though, I don't hate people. If I hated people, I would tell them to keep killing themselves, and I wouldn't tell the truth about anything because I wouldn't want their behavior to improve. Like, that's what's so crazy about it. If you care, you will be persecuted. But that's okay because Jesus died on the cross.